Good morning and welcome back to the Undepression Project. Today we're going to be talking about depression and sleep. So I'm sure you've heard it before. I'll sleep when I'm done, or maybe I'll sleep when I'm dead. We seem to have this idea that sleeping for 8 hours is either a luxury of the rich or a hallmark of the lazy. But we've got to stop treating sleep like a luxury or an indulgence. Giving up sleep in favor of more work or maybe one extra episode of Netflix can wreak havoc on your health. In fact, sleep is just as important as exercise and nutrition for your health. When you don't get enough sleep, your body goes into what's called sleep debt, and the interest is really high. Sleep debt is the difference between the amount of sleep you need and the amount of sleep you actually get. The recommended amount of sleep for adults is between 7 and 9 hours. According to a report by the CDC, more than 35% of Americans are getting less than 7 hours of sleep each night. That is a lot of sleep-deprived folks. And the American Academy of Sleep Science says that getting fewer than 7 hours of sleep each night can increase your chances of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, anxiety, and depression, among others. The symptoms of sleep deprivation and depression are actually really similar. Fatigue and inability to concentrate, irritability, and body aches and pains are both symptoms of depression and sleep deprivation. So improving your sleep patterns can go a long way to reducing the symptoms of depression. Okay, so sleep is important, but when you're depressed, it can be really hard to get regular, restful sleep. So what can you do to improve the quality and length of your sleep? I've got 5 tips to help you do just that. Number 1, make sleep a priority by sticking to a regular sleep schedule. Treat yourself like you would a little kid, setting regular bedtimes and wake times. So if you know that you want to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep, and you need to wake up at 7 in the morning, it means you should be going to bed no later than 11 p.m. 11 p.m. now becomes your non-negotiable bedtime. You might feel like 7 to 9 hours is a lot, or that you'll be less productive during the day because you have less time to get things done, but the reality is the opposite. The more quality sleep you get, the more productive you are through the day, and the better you'll be able to concentrate. So despite the extra hours spent in bed, in the end you'll end up on top. Number 2, create a bedtime ritual. This doesn't have to be elaborate, but stick to a handful of tasks that you do every night before you go to bed. Once you make this ritual a habit, it will start to prime your brain for sleep each time you do it. So your ritual might be to sip on a cup of herbal tea while you read a book, then brush your teeth, change into your pajamas, and wash your face. Sticking to the same nightly ritual will help you fall asleep easier. Number 3, turn off all devices 1 hour before bed. This includes phones, laptops, TVs, and e-readers. The blue light from these devices can make it harder for you to fall asleep because they mess with your body's natural clock or circadian rhythm. Too much light in the evening can also reduce the amount of melatonin that your body creates, making it harder for you to fall asleep. Some call it an Amish hour, but whatever you like to call it, put your devices away, dim the lights, and start winding down about an hour before bed. Number 4, exercise during the day. Aerobic exercise can improve sleep quality and duration. Even 15 minutes of aerobic exercise that gets your heart rate going can be enough to reap the benefits. Try to exercise in the morning or early afternoon, or at least a couple of hours before bedtime. A lot of people find that exercising too close to bedtime makes them feel too amped up to fall asleep. But try exercising during different times of the day and see what works for you. And number 5, limit caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Caffeine and nicotine are both stimulants, which can make it hard for you to fall asleep and then to get restful sleep. If you're a coffee lover, try to get your daily Java in before noon, as caffeine has about a 6-hour half-life, which means it can still be in your system even hours later. Ideally, you might want to consider cutting out coffee and nicotine altogether if sleep is really an issue for you, but this can take time. So to start, try shifting your use of caffeine or nicotine to earlier in the day. As for alcohol, on the surface it might seem like it could improve your sleep. For some people, having a nightcap can make it easier to fall asleep since alcohol can make you drowsy. And while this is true, the quality of your sleep after consuming alcohol is significantly reduced. So try swapping out your nightly glass of wine for a cup of chamomile tea. It'll help you sleep better. Sleep is important for everyone, but it's especially important for those trying to overcome depression. So try a few of these out tonight and see if you sleep a little better. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the Undepression Project channel. Leave a comment below with your favorite sleep tip and let me know what works for you. And I'll see you on Wednesday for our next video.